Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It is the Monday night Zoom edition, and we're building a nice little reliable group here. I'm digging it. So thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for everybody who's watching on the recording, and we'll go ahead and get started. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. I'll share my screen, see if I can do it right this time. I messed it up a little bit last week. So here we go. All right, you guys should see my Bitcoin Binance trading view chart on the 5 minutes. Does that look right to you? Is that what you're seeing?
Yes.
Yeah, on Friday I accidentally showed my,
Yes.
I didn't realize I had my my Binance trading chart, and I was talking about that for about 5 or 10 minutes. So oops. That's one of the reasons I had my trading stuff on the dark view, and then my trading view on the light view. So, but you guys say you can see the dark view better, so I'll figure it out. All right, Bitcoin on the day chart. Look at all my scribbles. All right, so we had the nice pump, big drop on the 7th, and kind of sideways since then, even drifting down a bit. On the 4-hour, I drew this channel here a little while ago. Looks like we've established a low around 44, 45. I'll say 44.5. We're at like 44.9 at the moment. And then we've got a top around 47.5. So we're bouncing between 44.5 and 47.5. We can't seem to break 48, but I do like that we're holding this 44.5 level as a support. Not sure how long that'll last. Some people are looking for a drop down, below the 40s. I think we're gonna break out of this, go up to 80 or so, and then drop maybe down to 50, and then that'll be the new, down to 45 or 50, and that'll be the new support. So 50% drops in Bitcoin do happen about once a year or so. So and then 15 to 30 happens about quarterly. So that's, as my musician father would say, it's part of the gig. All right, so that's the 4-hour. Let's take a closer look on the 1-hour. And yeah, it's a pretty tight channel for Bitcoin on this time frame. So we did dip below into the 43s briefly, then came up, within a couple hours. So that's the current trading range. And someone's trying to get in. I'm sorry, dude, I only do that via email. So, all right, so that's Bitcoin. Let's look at, before I forget, let's look at Litecoin, because that was the FUD news of the day. There was fake news about Litecoin being used by Walmart. So we got this giant candle on that news, and then when Walmart, denied it, it crashed right back down to where it started, just about. So that's crossed my mind before. It's like, I wonder if I could. I don't think my Twitter channel is quite powerful enough to move markets like this, though. So, probably wouldn't work out. But if I had the hacking abilities to get into some real channel, then maybe. But I wouldn't do that. That would be unethical. So that was the big news of the day, and a lot of the other coins followed this too. Let's look at Ethereum. Yeah, it pumped at about the same time, around 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock Pacific, and then big crash. But it's recovered a lot of that. So let's take a closer look at, or a broader look at Ethereum. I liked it better when it was doing that, but I think I've said that 2 or 3 shows in a row. So that's getting old. On the 4-hour, I drew a channel here a little while ago. Support seems to be about 3160. It doesn't seem to stay below 3200 very long. So it's moving up from that. My my save the market short position in Ethereum did actually get me out in profit, so that was kind of cool. And I've got another short position in Atom now. It's doing pretty well, but yeah, if Bitcoin drops too much, then I'll have to do my self-sacrificial Bitcoin short to short up. So we'll see. People are actually kind of catching on today. Now people are asking me in the Slack group to, hey CJ, buy a short in Bitcoin so it stops. Yeah. All right. So, and
I
then
may offer to pay for it.
Yeah, you guys can subsidize my losses on my Bitcoin shorts. All right, so we're in this channel between 3,200 and 3,600, kind of like Bitcoin. If you watch other YouTubers, they're gonna say, if it does this, it's gonna crash, and if it does this, it's gonna shoot, which I don't think is very useful. So all I'm trying to do with showing you guys these these drawings and these structures is to show a trading range and sort of reemphasize what the other YouTube people are saying, is that we got to break through this resistance to make its next move, and if we're going to crash, it's got to plunge through this support. So that's all I have on the market in general, on Ethereum and Bitcoin and the FUD with Litecoin. Any questions on the market overall? Okay, let's go to Altcoin Alert. Alrighty. Are you guys seeing my Altcoin Alert with quant listed?
Yes. Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
So I've tinkered with some of these other settings, and I don't really use them. So I'm going to use the setting that gives us the most amount of information in one look, and that's going to be the Altcoin Alert radar with the easy mode turned off. You guys can, if you want just quick information, you can go to the dashboard, you turn easy mode on or off, and just get some important information in one glance. I'd rather have all the information, and I'd rather have it sortable. So you can't sort the other two modes that I just showed you, but you can sort this by AA score, trading activity, social activity, the 1 hour range. And we do like the Elder Impulse daily sorts. These are the ones I do the most. I haven't done much with the sentiment sorts, but good old John has told us about the social activity sort. We'll often bring up the very bullish on the long-term sentiment and the bullish on the Elder Impulse daily. So those are convenient as well. Let's start with the AA score. We've got an 89 for quant. This is a coin we've looked at a few times in the past. We've got thumbs up on trading activity, normal social, on the projected range. I like to see 5% or higher, but this is not a deal breaker. Bullish on the Elder Impulse daily and neutral on the other scores. It's up 6%, not a huge amount, but shows a trend up. So I think this is worth a look. Go ahead and look at the Coinbase chart. Trending up nicely today. This one's just pumping like crazy. The 1 hour, it did drop, and it's trying to recover from the drop it had a couple days ago. So there's some room on the 1 hour for a retrace. I don't think we have it in the 5 minute though. Yeah, we usually enter our trades on the 5 minute chart. And right now it's just shooting up. So I'm not seeing, you could try to catch this trend and go to the 1 hour. the 1 hour retrace that I just showed you, which is right about here around 421. So 382 to 400. Look at 5 or 6%, not bad. Just don't know how long it's going to sustain this trend, this hard trend up. So, I'd be more interested in something like this, catching it in a dip sequence. Here we've got a squeeze and it's bubbles out. Got really only one dip though. So, well, actually two, because I got my third standard deviation here cluttering things up. Let me get rid of that. All right, so we got 1, 2, actually do have a third dip. And then a trend back up to the SMA line in the top of the Bollinger Band. So if you got in around here, 3% to the SMA line, you would have been out, in 3 hours. That's a pretty good day trade. So our strategy to catch a dip like this is to either set an alert down here below the Bollinger Band. You can add an alert, click OK, and you're good to go. I often put alerts in the RSI. And yeah, you can put the RSI alert and try to catch it when it goes below 30. I find this more useful on 15-minute chart. You tend to catch a second or third dip if you do that. So you just right click here, add an alert. You either have it crossing down on the 30 or crossing up on the 30. If you're crossing up on the 30, that's usually signs of a recovery. So I like to do those. So in this situation, go 30 here. Leave it only once. If you want this to be on all day, you can put it once per bar close or once per bar. Once per bar close is the one I usually use. And
So that means if you miss that alert and you've got it set on 15 minutes, then when your bar closes at 15 minutes, it's not going to tell you again?
no.
What's bar close mean?
That means the 15-minute candle is going to close at the end of the 15-minute candle.
Okay, that's what I thought I said.
Yeah, so maybe I misunderstood you, but on the other setting,
It was on the way down.
once per
One was
bar.
down, one was up.
Yeah, because I'm having a crossing up. You can have a crossing down if you want,
Okay,
but I want it to go down and then show me signs of a recovery. And I find this is a better,
okay.
better for that particular. Because if it's going down and then you buy it and it keeps going down,
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
in
that could still
trouble.
happen. It
Okay,
could still go down, cross up, and then go down again. But
true.
I'm trying to put the odds in my favor as much as possible. So,
Okay.
all right. So this is a pretty common alert that I use to try to catch dip trades. All right, so that was Quant. And I was not familiar with this coin, REQ, but I looked at it earlier. It was kind of interesting. So it's pretty recent on Coinbase. Let's look at the Binance chart. I didn't look at that. Okay, it's been on Binance for a while. Yeah, quite a while. So on the day chart, it pumped big in August. It's been working its way down since then. Had a couple big moves, but we are getting lower highs on this one. On the 1 hour, a couple big pumps today beyond 24 cents. Let's come back down to 22. I was looking at this, wondering, I wonder if this could go up again for a third try to punch above this this resistance here, 24 cents. If you think that might happen, it's a pretty good move. It's over a 6% move. That's a good day trade, but not feeling like this is going to happen. It keeps trending down. It did come up a little bit. Now it's going a little bit sideways. So again, you could use an alert down here to catch it in a dip, or an alert on the RSI like I just showed you on quant. Try to catch this in a better entry. So, all right, any questions on quant or REQ? Doge, very bullish at 80. Thumbs down on trading activity. Bearish on both elder impulses. Down 6% today. Bullish long-term sentiment. So we have some conflicting signals here. I'm not a big fan of Doge anyway, so I don't really trade this unless it's showing me, you know, that's pumping up pretty hard or pumping down pretty hard. Solana is not in the 80s on the AA score yet, but this one's had a lot of activity lately, last couple weeks, showing bullish on the elder impulses, neutral on the sentiments. I can't believe there's anyone in crypto who doesn't know about Solana at this point, so I'm not that concerned about sentiment. Let's go ahead and check it out. This one should be on my list. All right, the day view, hit the all-time high, went over $200, but it's been coming down since then. On the hour, trending down from that 200 value. I think we've lost. Lost about 30%. It's picked up about 8 or 9%.
That a third dip there.
We're on the 1 hour chart. So 1, 2, we have a third dip, but we're late. Had we gotten in, you know, 9 o'clock this morning, you know, to the SMA line would have been 10%. Yeah, that would have been a good day trade. This doesn't happen very often. It does happen a few times a month where you get a 1, 2, 3 dip on the 1 hour. It's really cool if you can get it on the 4 hour, but that's pretty rare. I'll show you something on iCoinPro called the Rsi Spy. That'll help you find moves like this if you want to trade, you know, more of a swing trade.
Hey, CJ.
Okay.
Say this is Damien.
Hi, Damien.
Hi. I was a little bit late, but excited to be here. Like, so if you're holding, like, say, like I got in on, like, really excited about going up and down. So it would just be like, would it be like, okay, I'm going to have a separate bag to just day trade this if it kind of met the requirements or we felt like it was gonna do something? Is there anything that you would change if you were kind of, you know, holding or going long on this based on kind of what you're seeing over the day? Or would you just kind of say like, hey, these are just kind of fluctuations, it's in a general uptrend, we're just gonna hang on to it? Or like what are your thoughts around that?
Well, I was about to scold you for bringing up a hodl situation in my day trading show, but part of your question is relevant to how we trade.
Right, yeah,
Talk about. So I'm not going to scold you.
Relevant. Yeah.
But so because I've talked about
take it,
this quite a bit recently, is that when you're holding something, it's gone up over 200%. At that point, I would sell half and pull out, you know, my principal, and now I'm trading on house money. I love that. So
yeah, I'm already there, like doing great. So I've done that.
right. So you've done that already. So you're already on house money. So, you know, you might want to just take profit at certain levels you know, if it hits 200 again, pull out maybe
Mm-hmm.
25%. And then if it hits, I don't know, 2.25 or 250, another 25%, you know, that's a fun way to trade, you know, when you're on house money and you're pulling out, you know, profits as you go up, but you do have to figure out what kind of trader you are. And ideally you do that before you start trading, but I don't think anybody ever does. So,
Right. Well, I feel like there are things that like I've kind of got like separate and I'm like, okay, I'm holding that, but then there are certain things in it because I'm still new, obviously.
mhm.
And then there are certain things that kind of blur the line where it's like, okay, we'll just be get in and have like a separate bag to just kind of day trade it. But like, you know, how do we think about this? You know, anyways.
Well, if you probably listened to what I've said before, and the examples I'm giving is like, you know, if you get 2%, 3%, 5%, and, you know, 10%, those are great day trades.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
And I
but,
love that.
Yeah. And you pile those up, you can build your balance. But, you know, what you're talking about is more, you know, hodling for larger profits. And that's more in the swing trade, you know, hodl realm, which is, you know, the outside the scope of the show. But, you know, I would just take profits as you go up, but I was trained as a trader. I had to learn, you know, swing trading and hodling later. That's why I joined CryptNation, to learn how to do that. Because my initial training was day trading and getting 1% and 2%. So anyway,
Right.
which is the opposite of nearly everybody else on the show, probably. So that's why I say,
No, but yeah, no, I love I love it because I mean I do that with stuff, you know, but then sometimes you get in that kind of zone where it's like, ooh, I want to hold this in, like I could see, I just want to kind of, you know, eke out a couple percentage for the day, like that would make sense. So
yeah,
anyways, thanks for indulging me on that.
you're welcome.
If I might,
that's a
CJ,
question.
one second. If you'll go, are you part of the CryptNation Lifer program?
Yes.
The gentleman.
Oh, I think he's out talking to
Okay.
Damien.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, newsletter 58 and 59, Bryce and Aaron both talk a lot about profit taking, when and how and what they do, and they go along your lines you were just talking about.
Right. And yeah,
Awesome, thank you.
yeah, check those out. And yeah, they're really good at that and how to take profits in swing trades. So, and they are more qualified than I to talk about it. All right. So, all right, Solana, and we're looking for an entry point in Solana. We did find a 1, 2, 3 dip, but we are a little late on the 1 hour. So let's go to the 5 minutes, see if there's a place to get in. Does seem to be, it did drop below the SMA line, and we're coming into a squeeze. So this one might be going into a dip. My atom is dropping right now, which is cool because I'm in a short. But the point I wanted to make is, what's Bitcoin doing? We always check what Bitcoin's doing before we make any trade. So it's dipping down a little bit, not much. So so we're going to keep that in mind when we consider an entry point for Solana. Rather catch it on a dip sequence like this. So again, I think we're going to set our alerts, you know, toward the bottom of the Bollinger Band here or in the RSI. So we're not seeing any trending going up at the moment. So a squeeze trade, I think, would be a bad idea at this point.
You're saying around 155? That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, we've got short-term support
Am I?
right
is your-
about here, 153, 155.
Okay. Yep.
So,
Okay.
but again, relying, you know, and I do take this into consideration when I look for entry points, but you can only rely so much on a 5 minute, you know, 4 or 5 touch support line. So, all right. So that's 3 that we've done from Altcoin Alert on the AA score. Let's look at, let's do an Elder Impulse sort on the daily. We'll do one of these, and then we will move over to iCoinPro. We've
We
got
probably
8.
missed dot, but can we look at dot?
Sure. Let's
What meets the criteria?
all right, we got neutral, fire, we like that. Upper 5%, we like that. Neutral on the hour, bullish and bullish, we like those. Yeah, dot's a good one. The only downside is our AA score is not that strong, but regarding
I
these
think
other
we missed it,
sorts,
but okay.
regarding the other sorts, it's worth a look. This had a pretty good move recently. Yeah, this one's really pumped up. The hour. Yeah. So it's trending down. Sorry, this is in my way. Last couple days, we had a big move to $38. It's trading at 34 and between 34 and 35 today. All right, looks like well, we broke through the SMA line here, so that means the dip sequence starts over. Got 5% between the Bollinger Bands. It's not bad. It's not great. Rather see a big bubble like this. So we don't have a first dip yet. So I do think the RSI on the 15-minute would be a better place to set an alert. Otherwise, there's a cluster of candles around here. 33 might be a good place if you want to set one on a specific price to try to catch it in a dip. So if you want to trade dot, that's how I would do it. All right. Any questions on that, Laura, or anybody else?
Does that look like a tiny bit of a bubble starting at the top there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll
Yeah.
just
And
catch it next time.
well, if it drops further, then it will bubble out more.
Okay.
So this is something to keep an eye on. Just it's very early. We don't even have a dip yet below the Bollinger Band. It's only bubbling out a little bit. So let's go to the chat. I always forget to do this. Okay. Oh, Alan. Is Alan here? You made a comment in here.
Yes, Alan is here.
All right. And we've had a couple shout outs to Alan and Terry, two of our better charting people. And you can see I do have an RSI with divergence on my charts, on my basic charts, and most of them now. We do have a bullish divergence here, but I think we're probably too late. It's over an hour ago. We're on the 5-minute chart. These aren't super reliable on a time frame this small. These are better on the hour and the 4-hour, but I have been known to see this on a 5-minute and get a quick little, little couple percent, on leverage. If I get a 1%, I'm happy. So anyway, it's divergence is a little beyond our scope, but this is a good thing to learn. And just quickly, divergence means that the price action and the indicators are in disagreement. They're diverging. So in this situation, the RSI is trending up and the corresponding candle action is trending down. So it's not a real good example, but I'll have to teach. I probably haven't used it enough to teach on it yet, but when I use divergence more in my own trading, I'll probably do a video or two about it. So. All right, so that's about all I have on Altcoin Alert. Are there any other coins you want to look at in the Altcoin Alert system before we move over to iCoinPro? Alrighty then. iCoinPro, let's look at the Rsi Spy first. And a quick refresher, I've sent all you guys at one point through email, and it's on my reminder emails as well. The 1, 2, 3 dip strategy. I learned it from this group. These folks taught my mentor, Jeremy Barnett, who's a big fan of what I'm about to show you. He's a really good trader. And so this is the RSI Spy. I'm sorting by the 1 hour RSI. If these values are below 30 on the 1 hour, and if they're below 30 on the 1 hour and 4 hour, those are really beaten down, oversold, and usually due for a recovery. We don't have any right now that are 30 or under. We've got a couple of kind of close, this INJ protocol. I don't usually trade the Bitcoin pairs unless dabbled with a little bit this summer with mixed results. So I'm not going to talk about it here. And if you want to, if you want to use a little bit of leverage and go short when these values are 70 and higher, those are usually overbought and tend to come back down. This SNX is overbought on both the 1 hour and the 4 hour. But again, I'm not going to go over a leverage situation here. So let's take a look at INJ. One thing I like about iCoinPro is a drop-down menu will take me straight to a trading view chart. All right, so on the 1 hour, it was showing this trend down. And let's take a broader look on the day chart. Yeah, we had a high here around $25. That was back in May. It hasn't reached its high yet. It's on the way, and then it got caught in the September 7th dump. On the 1 hour, it's trending down from 1370 down to 1070. So let's see if we can find something to trade. We've got a squeeze here and then just a kind of a gradual bubble. These are some of my least favorite dip trades. When they're barely moving off the Bollinger Band like this, they can just keep going. So let's make this a little bigger. Between the Bollinger Bands, we've got, it's kind of squeezy anyway, about 3.5%. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dips. Though we have 2 pretty strong candles going up from here. If you do want to buy this dip sequence, I think you have to be ready to ladder buy if it does go down to, say, the support here at around 1056. Now that wouldn't be too bad. Even if you bought it here at 1071, drop to 1056 is, it's hardly anything. It's like a 1.5. So from that to the SMA line's only about 1%. I would probably be a little more aggressive and try to catch this, this resistance here, 2.36%. You got 2 candles up here around 3%. So
CJ,
not bad, but pretty conservative.
What's the benefit of your 2 Bollinger Bands, the 2 different ones?
Yeah, Pat's asking about the 3rd standard deviation. And this is something that Justin Clark, the co-founder of iCoinPro, puts in his charts. And he will frequently, on a really good dip, you can catch, you can use this as an entry point. Catch it here on the 3rd standard deviation and then go up here. And this is a really conservative trade, to the 2nd standard deviation, which is the default that we have on our Bollinger Bands.
Okay.
Yeah, that's almost 2.5% to there. And, up to the SMA line, over 7%. So that's a really good.
So in other words, if it hits
entry.
down on that 2nd one, then you've got a pretty good spot to go in.
yeah, it's just, do you have the patience to see this dip sequence, you know, here on the second standard and wait. I mean, it didn't reach the third one. Well, it did right about here. So yeah, if you're tracking this on the 5-minute chart and it hits, and then you get a green candle, this is a really good entry point, and it's a better one than here by about, you know, 1%. So
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. And that's a good question. And what we're trying to do as day traders is find as many, you know, candle action, news, oscillators, you know, and other tools to pile up confirmation of our decision to go into a trade. And, you know, nothing's perfect, but, you know, if you catch the third standard deviation, like I just showed you, you're in a 1, 2, 3 dip. You know, and other indicators are in your favor. You know, like right here, this is starting to come back up on the RSI. You know, the money factor index is coming up. MACD hasn't crossed yet, but, you know, crosses here. So, you know, I've talked about doing 1, 2 dips with a MACD cross in a hot market. You know, that's not a great entry there, but, you know, it does go up to, you know, 1.8% in 5.5 hours off the MACD cross. You know, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good day trade as well. So, all right, any more questions on INJ? Get out of this, and we will go to the other tool I like on iCoinPro, which is a buddy coin crawler. This is going to give us an idea of what coins are moving. I'm sorting by the average low to the SMA. The low is a 24-hour low, and then the SMA is that pink line between the Bollinger Bands I showed you. So I'm looking for 5% or better, and I'm looking for pretty good volume too. Like, even though this is 9% on this Coinbase, it's a USDT pair, which aren't as popular on Coinbase Pro as the USD pairs. And it's only got a volume of 100,000. I'm not going to look at that. I want volumes of 10 million or more usually. Gala is a new listing on Binance. A lot of you guys aren't buying on Binance, so I use Binance charts a lot because on coins that are on other exchanges, but I don't know if Gala is. So this is one I wanted to look at, Civic. 7.5%. It's on Coinbase Pro and Binance. Volumes are pretty good on both. We'll go ahead and look at the Binance chart. I've traded Civic before this, a couple times this year, so. Okay, quick look at the day chart. Man, it's way up here on the 4th and then dropped like a rock down to 50 cents. It got hit hard by that dump on the 7th. Looking real squeezy on the 1 hour, but trending up. On the 5-minute, we got a bubble here, but it's riding the top of the Bollinger Bands. I see something like this. I'm looking for more of a trading range approach. We've got some resistance right around here, around 55 cents, between 55 and 57 cents. Kind of risky though, buying it way up here. So back to these 3 touch points, it's 1.6%. Kind of coincides with this resistance here. Let's shrink that a little bit. So if you catch it at 51 cents, this might be more end up being more of a swing trade if you hold it this long, relying on retraces that are happened yesterday. So 7, if you're really aggressive, going up here to 11%. I'd probably do something in the middle. This 4% area looks pretty good to me. If I see what I like. you know, on the 5-minute chart. Got 2 red candles now, so not sure if I'd want to do this. You know, as a dip trader, I like this. I like this scenario more. You know, got a squeeze and it bubbles out. 1, 2. Don't really get a third dip here. So then I'd rely on the MACD cross, wait for that cross to happen. Candles are trending up. Maybe I get in right about here. You know, to the SMA line's 4.8%. I'm in that trade. You know, assuming I'm up at 2 a.m. You know, I'm in this for 3 hours. You know, about 4.5%. I like that as a day trader. So that's good stuff. So yeah, I don't really see an entry that I like at the moment, but if you want to try to ride this, if you think it's going to keep going up, then you can catch a trend trade here for probably 3 or 4%. Alan's on the chat again. Yeah. Alan's confirming what I was talking about with multiple indicators and sources of information confirming our decision to go forward with a trade. So that's what we're looking for here with Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro, and the recommendations they make is the best entry point. All right. So any questions on Civic? Okay, we are over 40 minutes, so I will throw this open to any you know, any questions you guys have on day trading, or you know, if there's specific coins you want to look at, we can do that on either Altcoin Alert or iCoinPro, or just on the chart. What's my group shy tonight? Usually at least people want to look at coins.
No, I'm not shy at all. Most definitely.
No.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Alan. Everyone here, Pat, Morgan. If I forgot you, sorry. But I wanted to know, and I think a lot of other people want to know. And I'm very sorry, I'm late. I got in here late, so we might have talked about this, and I'm not sure. But before the false news for the Litecoin pump, there was also some trajectory showing that it was also gonna pump. Now, is that from the same thing, or is that connected or different? And then I have another question about AMP as well, being that I got the other day from somebody about AMP being. Let's work on Litecoin thing first.
All right. So Litecoin, we did talk about that earlier in the show, just to talk about the FUD and how there's a spike up and a spike down to see what, you know, what coins followed that. But it sounds like you're saying were there some technical indicators that were showing this kind of thing were going to happen?
There were some there was some TA like 3 days ago saying that it was gonna bounce, it was gonna pump.
Okay, we did get a dip sequence here on the 1 hour on the 7th, but you know, about everything did that during that Bitcoin dump. Maybe it was some other indicator that I don't have on this chart. We have some bullish divergence here on the 8th, but that's too far removed.
Say CJ, it was I posted something earlier. It was they had 5 minute some 5 minute triggers, bullish triggers, and 15-minute setups before the news came out. Now, of course, you know that was a pump, and you know I was late also, so I apologize. I'm not sure what FUD y'all talked about, but I agree about the FUD a lot. You know, news definitely throws fuel on the fire for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, you know, from what I've seen, you know, TA has one or another method has signaled a gain or fall before it happens, before the news ever comes out. that may be what BTG is talking about, because I did post a chart where it showed the bullish divergence triggers and everything showing that it was going to gain.
And what time frame was that chart, Alan?
All right, so the 5-minute chart showed all around setups and then triggers, and then the 15-minute chart showed a bunch of setups, and it actually triggered on the pump, which is kind of expected. And the line goes up that far, you get a bunch of triggers going on. But the 5-minute chart on divergence anyway did show 6 out of 6 oscillators setting up and then triggering before the pump happened.
All right, so
And I shared it on AA and Facebook if anybody wants to look.
yeah, I mean, I can see the pump happened, right here, obviously at 6:30 Pacific. We have the money fact or the RSI going up, but coming back down again just before that.
And then Terry's new RSI that he's been sharing. The RSI was on the move up. The way he explains it is it responds quicker to action than than your normal settings in the RSI. So that was coming up also before the pump.
Yeah, I saw something about that in the Slack group, and he and I had talked about it. What I want is an indicator that'll tell me immediately when this happens.
Right.
And most of them are delayed because they want confirmation. I'll do the confirmation. I don't need an indicator to do that. So, and I've tried to tinker with this too, the settings and inputs. Anyway, we're getting a little too technical here. So I've got some new people on. It's gonna make their heads explode. So anyway, generally speaking, what Terry's emphasizing that we're looking for multiple confirmations of our trading decisions. If we can find a TA source that's going to help us figure out when these kind of things are going to happen, that's pretty awesome. I don't think any TA would have told us it would have happened to this degree. It could have been
Something smaller.
Yeah, a smaller move.
Absolutely.
5%.
The target for that one was not equal with that bar. No, it
Right.
was definitely not. So yeah, it'd be great to find something like that out, but is that
Indeed.
really
Terry or you or I or any of us that come up with that would be
yeah.
The tie is the closest we know, and that's their Twitter stuff. But unfortunately, Twitter is out to everybody, and then they report it back to us, and then it's usually too late, or sometimes too late. But
I'd have to look, but I think the highest target for that one was 215 or 220. I'd have to go back and look, but it wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't up to
It was
240.
like 220.
Yeah.
220 would still be a really good
It was,
trade from 170.
And it was before. It was go check out my post in Slack after we're done.
Okay.
It was there.
All right. So those of you in, most of you are in Altcoin Alert, and that Slack, feed is available to you, and an excellent source of knowledge. And a lot of people, post on it. I check it out once a day, but Alan and Terry and some of the others are on it all the time. So
I live there.
it's a really good source of information and learning. All right. Brooklyn, that answer your Litecoin question?
Yes, most definitely. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
cool.
Now, my second part of the question was, I don't know if you spoke about this when I was gone. Obviously, I was late. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But somebody brought to my attention that AMP was like pumping in the market cap, and that it was passing up like comp, but it's just still sitting there. Are we expecting a pump from that, or like is it going to come up, or something unexpected, or what is that looking like?
Hope so.
Yeah, I'm not that, I don't even know if I've traded AMP before. I mean, obviously I've heard of it. It was listed on Coinbase in June, had a nice run up then, got swatted down with everything else in May. I mean, with the May-June dump. Came up pretty well to 9 cents and dropped again down to lost about half its value. Regarding news, I don't really know any. I don't have it on my list to.
No, I don't have any news either. No.
Fat will. Yeah, I don't have any recent news on AMP either. There was
Can
something
you
on
look
the
at,
there was something
Go
on
ahead.
the 8th with Cream Finance.
Yeah.
Oh, that was something different. So
can you look at Matic real quick?
sure. Let's finish up on here on the 1 hour. It's trending down. It's in a little bubble, sort of a dip sequence, not well defined. Actually, it's punched through the SMA, so that's not really a dip sequence for us. And the 5 minutes just choppy. So I don't see anything at the moment for AMP, and not really that familiar with it. Overall, it's a project. So if anyone else wants to chime in to help out Brooklyn on this project, if you know more than I do, then feel free to speak up.
No, I got out of AMP. I'm not even. Somebody else asked me about it. I was just, just wondering myself when they brought it to my attention. Thank you very much.
All right. And Laura, what were you asking about?
Matic, please.
Matic.
I swear between Sol and Dot and Matic and whatever, they just keep rotating which one's pumping.
Yeah, let's check it out. Matic. All-time high 272.
Ada, I forgot Ada.
Yeah, Ada.
Oh yeah, that's something we didn't talk about. Did it,
Yeah,
or
I was
did
gonna
it
bring
make
that up.
Ada sold the
I was
news,
waiting-
so we can look at that real quick. Ada sold the news, didn't surprise me at all. Actually, I meant to short that and I forgot. Dadgummit.
Me neither. Was expecting that.
Yeah.
So did it make it or did it fail? Because I've seen multiple things both ways. It's like, well, what the heck?
All right, we'll check that out in a moment after Matic.
Okay.
So yeah, Matic had a really nice move from July, into early September, and then dropped on the 7th on the 1 hour. It's been mostly sideways since the 7th. And we have a few dips on the 1 hour, so that's intriguing.
We're down 2 through or 3. Is that 3 dips on the 1 hour through? No, that's only 2. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take that out. So we got our squeeze here. It's bubbling out. Some traders don't count this first dip. I was in a meeting with Jeremy Barnett last night, who I told you is my mentor, and he's like, I never count that first dip. So that's it's a more conservative way to go, and that's fine. That way, his a 4th dip to me is probably his 3rd dip. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that first dip is right here, just after the squeeze part where it's bubbling.
And that's through the bottom Bollinger
Yes.
band. So we actually
So-
do have a play from 125 up to 140 maybe.
Yeah, but we don't have, if we count that first is, if we count this as the first dip, and we do have 3 dips, we get in right about here, right on the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour, to the SMA line. We haven't hit it yet. So we'd still be in this trade. It did dip a little bit again, then came back up on the 1 hour. But again, I don't have that much experience with trading 1, 2, 3 dips on the 1 hour chart. I've done it thousands of times on the 5-minute chart, but I usually just look at the 1 hour to see if the overall trend direction. But yeah, this is more of a tool for swing traders to use these, these larger time frames. On the 5-minute,
Okay.
we're towards
you
the
for
top
looking.
up here, so not seeing a good entry on the 5-minute, not yet anyway. Catch this kind of dip sequence, and that would be where to get in. And we're looking at Ada next. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the hour first. I think we all know what's going on with ADA. Just hasn't. It did pump up on the 11th up to 278. It's lost about 30, 40 cents since then.
That's when we should have shorted.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's down 17% and then it's up a little bit from there, but yeah, if you believe in the buy the rumor, sell the news, and that's been probably more consistent than not. Then yeah, if you do some leverage trading, then shorting the news is probably 60 to 70%, give or take, maybe even a little bit more strategy that works. So. Okay. Are you guys seeing my ADA chart and the chart in the,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, guys, well, we're at just about an hour. So unless you have an urgent pressing crypto matter, I'm probably gonna end this now. And
Thanks,
Thank you.
thank you,
Appreciate it.
everybody.
Thank you very much,
See
CJ.
you
Thank
next
you,
time.
Alan. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Have a great
CJ.
night.
Hopefully we'll see all or most of you on Friday.
Pat, see you tomorrow.
And Pat tomorrow. Don't forget Pat's Zoom.
Yep.
All right.